Guys, we're back. Okay, once again, this is episode 3 of Talks with Scott. I'm here with my man, Jordan Davis. Okay, he is a Memphis native. I really think bro from Mississippi, but he's saying from Memphis, man. This guy right here has an interesting story. Okay, a very phenomenal story that I want him to tell. I'm going to ask you a question. This is going to be something a little bit new. Okay, JD, give me who you are as a person right now. Explain yourself. Don't give me your background. Who is JD in the most purest, simplest form possible? And then I'm gonna give you what I think.
A striver. Striver. I strive. I strive for a lot of things, you know. So, all the adversity I go through, I strive.
Correct. Now let me tell you what I see. I am going to give you a sped up version of the guy that I know that is sitting here today. I went to University of Alabama coming out of high school. I was there as a freshman. This was actually one of the recruits that had the privilege of being around. JD's story is so interesting, so phenomenal to see where he started, to see where he's at right now. This guy is motivational. This guy is inspirational. This guy has a love and a passion for the game of football. Where do you get that love from?
I would definitely just say just how I grew up, honestly, and just we're mainly focused from my mother, for real. My mother. That's probably one person because I didn't grow up with a father. So like my mom, she always told me, look, I'm your mom and your father. I know it's gonna be a little hard, but you're gonna have to divide the two in your mind. So she was just seeing how my mama came up, just seeing how she raised me and my younger brother. It just molded me, it just molded me to just strive, strive for better things. She always told me, my mom didn't finish school. I'm working on my 3rd degree right now. So, I mean, strive. That is definitely the word.
I know you are a person that breaks generational curses. Yeah. Okay, and I mean that from the purest form possible. You don't really understand. That's why before we got started, he was like, Scott, what questions you gonna ask me? Holding those questions back to ask you these questions as we continue to talk. You have done things. I've seen you were an All-American, okay, in high school. I saw you had to take an alternative route. Okay, speak on how did that come about? Because in my head, when I was recruiting you, I was like, oh, bro, coming to Alabama off the rip. I'm like, yeah, I got him.
Man.
We got him.
Man. For one, for starters though, for just all the young cats out there, I'm gonna tell you this. When they say get your books, get your books. I'm gonna just say that for sure. Get your books. But I mean, mainly, Scott, though, like you said, I went from all American stuff, and that was actually a goal that I set for myself. And I set 3 goals for myself, and I came across, my God down man. I call my God down there, good time trainer for me. And I told him 3 things. I said I want to be an All-American, I want to play D1 ball, and of course, I want to have my chance of going to the league. So sure, of course, I worked my tail out to get to this All-American spot. I was the first All-American to come out of Memphis, so of course that was one goal knocked off the list. I said next, okay, I want to sign Division I. Had no clue in the world that Alabama came knocking at the door. Boom, knocked off the goal on the list. So I felt like in between all of this, it was just the basic fundamentals, the basic habits that I needed to do in order to get to where I was going. More than just working out. You need to put in and more I'm talking about school time. I should have put in more school time. And I was so big and focused on, I gotta get to D1, if I get to Alabama, I'm getting to the league. Not thinking that you need to do the things to get there first. And so I was too focused on, in the future and not focused on what was going on at the moment. And I lost sight of that. And once I lost sight of that, and I had it coming from my mother, she was telling me, study for the ACT, Jordan, study for the ACT so you can get ready for school, And that was a part I didn't think of in the process, the ACT. So I'm like, it hit me for a second. So, okay. So, of course, that failed for me. So, of course, I had to go to junior college. The junior college route was definitely a route that, I would consider others to actually take almost, cause like it real deal like it takes you through a change or evolving mindset of like knowing who you are as a person. Like it truly tests you as like with football and just your life personality for real. Because like once I got to junior college, like I started feeling like I was hitting an identity crisis. Like what's going on? Like I'm not supposed to be here. Like I'm telling Coach Davis, and thank God for everybody at Colleen Community College. I do appreciate everybody and I love everybody there, because without them, I wouldn't be here right now. So like with Coach Davis, I used to always come there and tell I never get the first day of practice. I pull up to the facility and you know, somebody come running to the car. That's Malik Heath. Malik Heath come running to the truck. I'm like, Malik, you here too? You know, Malik say he here, you know. So at this point, you know, like, of course, you know, I had that little mind of, okay, I ain't here alone, but like, okay, what we gonna do now? Like, what we finna do now to get up out of here? So of course, you know, like that just really just molded me in the sense of either you gonna barbecue or mirror. Like, what you gonna do? Just sit here and mope, or you gonna get up and fight? So that's really what it all took for me, honestly.
When you make mention of junior college, I'm gonna be very transparent right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to junior college, when it comes to the perception that these kids have on junior college, is very unfortunate, and they get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I know, and I can contest to this, coming out of high school, the number one offensive tackle, offensive lineman in Mississippi, whatever my accolades were, great. That's in the past. I know guys, because if you looked at my 24/7, if you looked at my rivals, I was supposed to have a 4-year career, go to project. You know, they put you in this comparison. Oh, he compared to Cam Robinson, is that in the field? And with that kind of being said, that respectfully harmed who my development in the essence of where I was trying to go. So, and I don't mean to pivot away from it, so I'm gonna tell it back around. I know guys who literally were supposed to like just dominate and kick butt and ended up not prevailing at the level that they wanted to. So it's very unfortunate that JUCOs is taking this route. But I know guys personally. I'm gonna give you an example. Me and Jason Brownlee from West Point. Jason Brownlee is like 2-3 years younger than me in class wise. Right. Jason Brownlee literally went to JUCO first, balled out, went to Southern Miss, balled out. Now he's in the NFL. His route, your route, you guys' route, because there's multiple guys like you. I know for a fact that JUCO molds people in a way that cannot be fathomable, because the type of respect that you have when you get placed at a Division I college or a D2 college, you don't take it for granted. Opposed to a 17 or a 16-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid entering something that's kind of been given to him.
No, for real.
I know for a fact, I didn't value my process at Alabama and my life lessons and teachings from Alabama until I left. You don't appreciate anything until it's gone. So therefore, when guys have to start from humble beginnings and have to really get it out the mud, I applaud those guys a lot more than the guys who kind of already have that expectation going into college. So when you make mention of that, you don't understand how that like motivates people. What would you say to a kid right now? Because I got some kids I train that literally is battling right now because they know for a fact. It's a kid right now in Greenwood. Most sacks right now, high school in Mississippi. Is supposed to went to the same school as Spencer. Marquise Spencer.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, man. He a dog. Got 0 offers. He's going to JUCO, and what should be his mindset, and guys like him, what should be their mindset going into that particular situation? Like, how can they get lost in it, and how can they not get lost in it and find their way out?
Honestly, it's all about like what you make of your process. Honestly, that's truly what I tell a lot of athletes, a lot of young athletes. Like, you know for a fact where you want to be in your life. and you know for a fact what you want to do with your life. It's all about how you gonna do it, how you gonna get there. Like, and that's truly was something that, you know, I had to sit back and learn myself. Like, because I was always a kid, like, oh, I know I want to do this, but I'm just thinking it was gonna happen. And like I said, like that dream college route is all about what you make of it. Like you need to go in already thinking, yeah, you know you ain't finna have all the tools and instruments to make yourself better. But at the same time, in your mind, you gotta have this mindset of, you know, I'm gonna make do. I need to make do everything around me. Like I need to use what I can so I can get to better. So like you don't want to forever just sit in the pile of trash. You want to eventually get that cleaned up and get that on up out of there. So I mean, it's all about what do you do with that? What you gonna do with that time while you're there? And I feel like how you can easily lose yourself. I feel like just sitting around and during college, honestly, because like I couldn't even truly just say how would you lose yourself, because I feel like you already lost it once you got there. Cause I mean, most kids, like you said, most people don't want to be in junior college. Everybody had the dreams of going straight D1. I mean, that ain't all our route. Heck, that wasn't my route. Heck, I signed Division I to the #1 school in the nation. I mean, I thought I was going straight there. That wasn't the route. God didn't plan that route for me. So, you know, like, it was just about what was I gonna make of this time? Like, was I gonna truly just sit back and relax and just forget about it, or real deal just get up and make something do with it? So that's where I feel like it was. And just on the lost part, I truly can't even tell them how it would feel to be lost, because at that time when you enter junior college, you already feel that. You already feeling lost once you touch down in there, because you knowing that you supposed to be somewhere better. So like there's truly, like, being lost is already there. It's all about how you gonna get yourself up out of it. How you gonna find yourself.
How did you find yourself? How did you get yourself out of that?
Man, it was a lot of praying. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It was a lot of praying, because it was a lot of isolation too. I mean, you in the middle of nowhere, so I mean, it's ball and book. So then plus, a lot of times me just walking around in the forest, I'd say. So other than that, it was a lot of isolation. Just talking to God, just honestly, and just having all that time to yourself. Just have you just thinking of, you know, like what's better in the world, you know? And it's just like I said, when you in the middle of nowhere and you just sitting out there just looking at the field, like I'll never forget, y'all, in our dorms, we got nothing but forest in the back. But, you know, like it's a hill going down into the forest, and you got bleachers just all along the rails of the street, and you can just sit down on the bleachers and, you know, just look at the forest and just see the deers and stuff come by. And of course, you know, like me being a city boy, of course I'd never think I'd be on some time of going outside and enjoying some fresh air for a good time, you feel me? So like that probably was something, you feel me, that probably helped me find myself. It's all about just like, when it goes into you trying to find your identity, sometimes it takes like you trying to do an activity, find hobbies, you know, just do something. And you know, but one thing that took me though was just a lot of isolation and, you know, just talking to the Lord honestly. Correct. Because without him, I don't know what.
Your relationship that you have with your faith and with God is second to none. The relationship that you have, okay, with your spirituality. And I want to say this, and I don't know if you know this conversation had. Your mom she talked to me. Yeah. I had talked to your mom. You have a praying mother.
Yeah.
What does your mother mean to you? Because she gave me a glimpse, and I'm not going to speak on nothing. She gave me a little piece of what she has overcame, what you guys have overcame. And my heart of hearts, I feel like I never take due diligence away from an individual and what they have accomplished. But what your mom has done, honestly, I'm be honest with JD, I don't think you have been this far if it was not for her.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Scott. You ain't lying yourself, boy. Y'all made me get emotional here. But, you know, just dealing with my mom though. And, you know, I actually do want, you know, just hold her piece out there, because, you know, with my mom, you know, we've been through a lot, and, you know, through like stories that has been posted on me, you know, I always tell people like, man, my mom, we went through the struggle, like like real deal struggle. Like this ain't just for the, just to tell a tale for the kids so to make the story sound good. Like this was something like we real deal like had to, face. And my mom had me at a young age, like a real young age. And of course I told you she ain't finna school, so a lot she had to figure out on her own. So like, and when that going on, she got married at a young age, met a man in the military, and of course, they started traveling around, of course. And her being so young at that age, my mom was always telling me she was trying to find herself as well. So of course, that's where I feel like my faith grew from too as well. Because throughout her stories are similar to mine on how she grew her faith. So of course, around that time, she started moving around. We settled down eventually. And she met my brother's dad, big time football player. What was crazy about it, he was playing at Florida State. My mom was so young, she ended up getting divorced from the man she was with. Started talking to him or whatever. So that started happening. They ended up getting divorced or whatever. And we ended up being poor real bad. It was a real bad situation to the point where we was going from house to house, shelter to shelter. And I remember to this day, like, I'll never forget, we were behind this Chinese restaurant. And my mama had an Impala, a white Impala. And I used to play with like the little water bottles, like they were toys. Cause she couldn't afford toys and that.
Yep.
And then at this time, my mom was pregnant with my younger brother. So like, it was real deal, like in my head, like she was still like a mother. You never seen, you was in the struggle, but you never like seen it physically. I don't know how, like my mom must got magic powers to me almost. But it was the purpose that, throughout everything that we was going through, my mama always shined a better light on everything. She always told me, think of the better. You want to think reality, but think better. Think better every time. So
it's so crazy that you made mention of that. You made mention of how your mom tells you to think of the better, becoming positive. How do you be positive in the situation that you have encountered? Okay, so you said therefore All-American High School, first ever in Memphis, signed to #1 school. Unfortunately, due to situations such as not preparing, you had to go the JUCO route. Went the JUCO route. From that, what did you do after that?
That's actually a good question, man.
Where did JUCO take you next?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you, of course, Mississippi State though, but I feel like on that journey, it was actually just crazy for me too, because like I really wasn't even supposed to be at Mississippi State. I was really actually gonna, take it back to Alabama. And I felt like around that time, that was a time where, I had my mother too, and I was getting really emotional towards the end of my junior college year because like I felt like I still didn't find myself at a point, even when all of this was going around. And I felt like at that time I was like, yeah, you need to like mentally gather yourself. Like now I didn't improve myself physically, football wise. I came to #1 player in JUCO, etc., etc. But now like I want to put the pieces. I want to put the puzzles all together. Now I need to put it all together. I need to put the physical with the mental. I need all of this. So I felt like, just the people that I had myself around, I had a lot of positive people around me. And I felt like the team that my mom gathered for me just helped me really get to where I was going to go to next. And then, of course, just falling down in Mississippi State, Mississippi State always showed me love throughout my junior college year. They always, respected me. They always made knowledge of, what I was going through, letting me know that it was always something better. And of course, just hearing that it was always something better, and just seeing the players and how they was molded. And I'll never forget when I first came on my visit to Mississippi State, I seen Cam Dantzler, Willie Gay, Jeffrey. I seen all these boys out there just having their little one-on-one sessions with everybody. And I was asking about who was who. And they were saying like it was off day. It was off day, Sky. And what that was crazy. I was thinking it was practice, but it was off day. So I'm like, who do you play with? I'm like, they getting ready for the draft. These guys, these some good guys, etc., etc. So like just seeing them guys and just seeing how they was, seeing how they was molded, they really motivated me because I was like, okay, they come from similar stories to me. Like they coming from somewhere and they want to, eventually grow up and get up out of this. And you know, now just seeing them in the shoes that they had took, it definitely had motivated me. It definitely gave me to the shoes that I'm in right now. It definitely showed me what could be better.
You make mention of those guys that you saw that motivated you, that inspired you to go ahead and, of course, sign to Mississippi State. You saw men, you saw leaders. Are you in that category as a man and in leadership?
You know, I always argue and told people that I was never a leader. I used to always say that, like, tell coaches, I used to tell people, like, I'm no leader. I don't know how to guide nobody. I don't know how to lead nobody. I can't lead myself. But you know, I was always told that, you know, you got this voice, Jordan. Like, you got this energy. It's this. I don't know if God bless you with this type of energy to the point where people can hear you, people can feel you. So I feel like that was really what it was for real for me, honestly. And I feel like just being a leader, I definitely would say I am a leader now. I definitely would say I am a man now. Through a lot of adversity that I've been through, I definitely can say I am a man now. Definitely, most definitely.
Your trials and tribulations that you have endured, and to see where you at as we go in the middle or whatever part of the segment we're in. I want to say, from seeing you from when you were 17 years old to seeing you, what, 23, 24?
Yeah, 24.
24 years old. The growth that I have seen, I think maybe 16. Actually, I don't know how young he was, because I was 18 at the time.
I was in 10th grade. I was in 10th grade.
Yeah, you like 15, 16. Extremely proud of you, bro. Yeah. Extremely proud of you. A vocal leader. Do things right on the field. I have to ask you a personal question. What do you think has held you back in the sense of taking those next steps?
I feel like, you know, it truly, honestly, habits. Habits. I truly, honestly feel that is one thing. You know, like, your habits is all what, you know, what makes you, honestly. Your habits is what makes you, for real. Like, if you practice bad habits, you will become them bad habits. You practice good habits, you will become good things. Good things will come out of it. So I felt like it was just my habits, like not getting the proper rest. Like, I was always a night owl. That was my one problem for sure. I was a night owl. Like, I could never go to sleep. Like, I would work out day and night, but I would never go to sleep. I would never put my body to rest. Never. Like, that was one thing for sure.
Why do you think you couldn't go to sleep? Were you overthinking? Were you fighting something? What was happening?
I feel like it was my thoughts. Just honestly, just me just overthinking, you know, just thinking about a lot. And, you know, especially like during my time in Mississippi State, like, you know, just seeing like when my time would come, you know, for like pro day and the NFL and stuff like that. And, you know, I used to have like real bad problems with me just overthinking that. And, you know, overthinking like, am I ready? Like, okay, coach, do I need to be doing this to get ready? Except, like, I used to always just overthink stuff to the point where, like, I'll go home and, you know, just be thinking the same stuff over and over and over. And that was also not a good habit as well. So I feel like I said, you know, bad habits make it, good habits do too.
Well, I'm not even going to say that I feel like those are bad habits. What I feel like personally, it's something that all men, especially young men, especially young athletes, that we all face and struggle with. You have a goal, you have a vision of what you want to accomplish. You have something that you want to do, and you're willing to do anything to accomplish it. What we fall victim at is that we do not trust what is being told to us, because sometimes we do not see instant results, or we do not trust what is being told to us. So therefore, we find ourselves trying to do anything to make ourselves feel good, not knowing that we're sabotaging the process in its full totality. I don't think that the bad habits, I think it's, a lot of people say me versus me. I think it's you versus you. I think it's you versus, you are a carer, you are a lover, you are a provider. That's just your makeup. And a leader, of course. But what comes along with that is sometimes when those things are bestowed upon you, it's a lot to deal with, and you need outlets to talk to. And if you don't have outlets, say if it needs to be your mom, but you just told me that your mom went through stuff, you don't want to add anything extra stress into a plate, or if you want to go talk to a friend. And I'm gonna say something, but haven't you lost close ones?
Yeah, I have. I actually just lost a close one. Actually, a young kid of mine's Devon. And I used to mentor him back in high school. I never forget, and like I said, I never used to think I was a leader until my Coach Lester. I thank him a lot too, because without Coach Lester, I feel I wouldn't be here either. But Coach Lester used to always try to mold me as a man at an early age too, because he always knew I didn't have a father figure. So anytime at school, like he kept me. He made me accountable for a lot of things back when I was in school. So, and that was one thing. And I lost Devon to gun violence not too long ago. And seeing him pass away, it really touched my soul, because seeing a kid like that, everything that I told him, he took in like a sponge. And when I seen that and seen that somebody actually listened to me, and it was actually, it turned into the good. Like, I seen how powerful my words can really be. I seen, like, you must understand, like, what gift God have given you. Like, you must not, take heed into this. Like, understand what's going on, Jordan. Understand that the people that around you, that it around you for a reason.
You empower and you impact people because you have an energy and an aura about you that attracts people to you. But where you fall victim at sometimes, and there's times that I fell victim to, not so much as relate. You don't want to be a hypocrite and tell one person something, but you're not living it. So therefore, when you ordain to do something good and you don't live up to it, respectfully, you're fighting with yourself. You have things going on internally that you're like, bro, like, because respectfully, we all know the right thing to do. We all know the wrong thing to do. But the wrong thing to do can be enticing. It can be like, man, I shouldn't do it. Those of us such as yourself, you gotta stay it's other people who can waver on and off the path. Yeah. But an individual like you're going to see a lot of benefit once you just fully accept what God has given you. When you just and you can't force it on people. Yeah, you can't force it on people. You can't. You have this thing, and boy, because I played against you as an O-lineman, and you used to piss us off when your ass would post practice film. and that shit still blows.
Boy.
because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something for real. The reason why posting practice film, I'll never forget. My freshman year, 2016, I blocked Ryan Anderson. It was a one-on-one. Like it was a rarity that I blocked this man. It was actually one-on-one. Was my first ever fall camp. And Ryan Anderson, I posted on Snapchat, and all the freshmen like, oh, y'all saw Snap. And Ryan Anderson came up to me and he said, you never post practice film. It shows that you're insecure.
I was saying, and you told me something like that. Man.
I did tell your ass something like that. Listen, but posting a lot, respectfully, in my heart of hearts, is subconsciously you're not feeling secure in something, so you gotta just show the world. I gotta show the world, opposed to just being humble and being modest about it and just letting for it to be shown at its proper time, opposed to you once again going back to what I told you before, trying to control the narrative.
Right.
And I had this conversation with your mom about myself. I said I would try to control the narrative all the time. 2016, I tried to control the narrative. I felt like I couldn't trust no coach because all my coaches was gone. I came in, I committed on Coach Cristobal, Kyle Flood. It was Brent Keys, Kyle Flood, and then after that, I ended up leaving with Doug Marone short after, who was my offensive line coach with the Saints. I felt like I couldn't trust no one. Only person I could trust, I felt like, was Coach Scott Cochran. And with Coach Scott Cochran, it was always trust the process. Yeah. But he helped molded you throughout that process. But in that same essence, I saw other people work out 2-3 times a day. So I'm about to go work out 2-3 times a day. I saw other people go invest in trainers. I'm gonna go invest in trainers. I started caring about what other people who did not have a factor in what I was doing, opinions of me, and therefore it sent me down a mental torment. But in that same essence, don't control the narrative. When I came to Mississippi State, I kept that same mindset for as I want to control it. 2020, I get out there, I'm working out. COVID hit us. I'm up here hitting up Coach Brown like, hey Coach, can I get some equipment? Can me and Charles, we want to go out here and work out on in the little sand pit right beside, like everything. We going up here. I'm calling up all the guys like, hey bro, like putting in group message, hey, Coach Brown left up this equipment. Let's go up here to the Sanderson and throw the ball, whatever. But I was working out there, and then I was coming back to West Point working out again. And at nighttime, late at night, I'll work out again because all I knew was work. That's all I ever knew. Like, just work. Respect. And that is respectable. But in the same essence, I was crushing myself. Yeah. My body wasn't recovering. My mental was strong. But then I go out there, we first start back running, and I pulled my calf muscle. That was all my doing. That was nothing that Coach Brown and nobody had programmed. That was me. Because I felt like I was doing the right thing. Right. But in essence, I was controlling the narrative. Right. When respectful, I should have sat back and allowed for God to just guide my path. So I'll never forget, after that year of me getting injured and all that great stuff, all that stuff, being out that 2020 COVID year and coming back 2021, I said, I'm just going to trust the process. I don't know if these reps are right or wrong. They were right. But I don't know, and I don't know if this coaching style is right or wrong. It was right. We ended up winning 7 games, and after that, a 8-game winning season next year. It was right. But I'm just going to trust it. I'm just going to pray about it, and I'm going to trust it. And by trusting the process, I, of course, became a starter. But I would trust the process of having a decent spring and all that good stuff and going into the season and earning a spot. I would find myself working out. I found myself going back into old habits to where we'll go out there and play a game, bro. And I would play a game. As soon as we get done, good or bad, I would hit up Coach Mason Miller or Coach Kramer and be like, where's the film at? I need to see. I need to watch it. What I need to get better at. What I need to do this. Because I'm too anxious. Right. Instead of me just enjoying them, I stopped enjoying football. Right. I stopped caring about the sport. I stopped loving the sport. I feel it. Like, I really did, because I felt like I didn't love it no more, because that was all my doing. It was nobody that forced me to do it. It was nobody around me like, bro, you better do this. I was doing it. I was self-sabotaging myself. And I see glimpses of that in you. So therefore, I want to get around you, and I want to converse with you, and I want to talk to you, and I want to build a rapport outside of the cameras, like we had started a little bit at the beginning of the year. To where I see these same things inside of you, to where like the overposting, the this, which you don't anymore. But those things that I had seen, because anytime I see a guy posting a lot about the same thing, you're either a showboat, but if I know the person, he's not showboat, then he's insecure about something. Okay? And you have no reason to be insecure about anything if you're doing the right things.
And that's what I had to learn.
If you're doing the right things.
That's exactly what I had to learn.
And once you start doing the right things and start practicing what you preach and start really and truly like, just like, man, this is who I am. I am who I am. Who I'm not, I'll never be. Kevin Gates. But aside from that, respectfully, when you start actually living like that, bro, a new world is you're gonna see things in a different perspective. But you need to understand you are in control of your destiny. Yeah. God is, don't get me wrong, that's one. Right. But He gives us free will to do as we please, good or bad. Like you said, you can go on this side, you go on this side. Like every single day you wake up, you have a choice and a decision to make. Am I gonna go on this path or this path? And with that being said, it's going to be hard to go down the right path. And that sometimes you're going to venture off that path. But as long as you know you keep the main thing, you will be a successful person. You're working on your 3rd degree right now. You are doing things that people do not do. You're doing things that's going to set you up for life. Utilize the people around you. Utilize the coaches. Utilize the staff. Thomas, because Thomas is a caring guy.
Great guy.
Thomas is a caring guy. He's a loving guy. I ain't talked to Thomas. I just texted Thomas not too long ago. I said, Thomas, I need this number to this particular spot, orthopedic center. And he sent it back to me like 10 minutes. Usually it take a day or two for anybody to respond. And as you continue to get older, you won't even take those things personal, because once you stop becoming a football player, you become actually a man, and in certain different essence of actually knowing what it is outside of football. You understand your responses are not going to be met with how you text it out. Then respectfully, you start to develop a respect for people who have actual life going on outside of football. But when you just have football, you just focus on football, you think people are supposed to be just strictly like you. Like, if I text you something, you better text me back. Or, man, he feeling this way about me. Man, he hoeing me. Lord. He doing this and that in the field. But respectfully, bro, like, this man got a family. He got stuff going on. He'll get back to you when he get to you. Now, if he don't get to you, you know that, hey, don't take it personal.
Right.
You know, but therefore, again, that kind of embeds into you as a person. Do you have other options that you can reach out to? Are you really putting it all in one man? God says, put your faith in no man. Now, granted, we trust you, don't get me wrong, but in that essence, you pray about it, you figure out an alternative route. With that kind of being said, you are in control of your path. Mm-hmm. You are in control of your destiny. You have gotten yourself this far. Mm-hmm. Understand your story. Embrace your story. Embrace your journey. Embrace where you have to go, where you're going to go. Embrace those things and don't force it. Like, I promise you, don't force it. Like, don't force the poser. Don't even force a girl to come into your life and this, that, and the field. Allow for it to attract to you. I promise you. Now, granted, that's still on me. You go out and pursue, granted, do your thing, but allow for certain things to attract to you. I promise you, it's better that way. I'm not even kidding. Like, it really is. And I see certain things when you talk about the gun violence situation, the stuff that you post, the motivational stuff you post. You are honestly bringing light to yourself. Like, for as that helps you motivate. That fuels your fire. Mm-hmm. I hear your passion. Nobody had to be like, oh, JD, break it down. He was going to be the one to break it down. But I'm going to be honest with you. As a man and as a football player, I was like, JD is a great leader. But I can't completely listen to JD because JD ain't living it.
True.
And we know JD ain't living it. But once he does, this guy is going to be as impactful as Ray Lewis. Like, literally. Because you got that about you. But don't take it personal when a person just be like, man, I won't really know. Because right then you living it. You living it right then. Like, bro, you see I'm doing this, I'm da-da-da. But people paying attention to you when you think they not paying attention to you.
You ain't lying.
Nah, for real.
You ain't lying.
So, with that kind of being said, what will be your steps with essentially not healing, but your process of like your self-love journey? What does that look like for JD?
You wanna know what's crazy is that I'm actually going on this journey now. You know, just finding myself really. And when I mean by that in detail wise though, is like just getting close to the word of God, just understanding the word of God and not just reading the word of God. I was too focused in the mindset of like, you know, just praying that'll just make me feel good, and you know, etc. and help me get on through the day. But not understanding why I'm calling out to him, not understanding what's the calling, not understanding how he would talk to me, not understanding the words. So like with now, like I'm literally in the cleansing phase where I had started reading my Bible. And I went all the way back to the first page of the Bible. Mm-hmm. I went back to the first page and it says how to read the Bible. And like I'm literally going back to step one of just like cleansing my mind for real. Cause I feel like going from step one of just understanding him and you know just learning his process again, learning how to love him and just learning how to love. I feel like that's gonna help me find myself, love myself. Cause the words that he pouring out onto us is the words that we need to live in our daily lives. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's one way of me doing this healing process. It's real deal just finding myself with the Lord, and you know, and that involves going to church, going to devotion, and like I've been going to devotion at McCool for these past 2 weeks. Just understand, you know, we got a little men's devotion. Around like 6:30, go around 6:30, and around like 7 or 8 o'clock. So you know, we just talk, just sit there and talk, and I'm just getting closer, get closer with the Lord, and just isolating myself too, Scott. Isolating myself for the moment, and finding me a team later on. But when I find me a team, I find me a great team, rich friends. Rich friends. And rich friends don't gotta just be my friends. It could be my family too. It could be it could be the people that's helping me, you know, just all my resources. That can be my rich friends. And that's what I'm building. I'm going towards something else. I'm building something else. And that's my trend, rich friends. I wanna be around big time. I wanna be big time. So how about you put yourself around that? How about you mold yourself to that? That's what I want.
Before, and like you said, it doesn't have to be in the sense of money. It doesn't have to be in the sense of fame. It's in the sense of spirit. It's in the sense of essence. It's in the sense of belonging. It's in the sense of understanding that you are who you are. And with that kind of being said, that mindset alone is going to get you places that no man can, that only God can. Like, honestly. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate, us as men, I talk about this as an advocate myself, and I'm not putting this upon you but me, I'm only speaking for myself, that we have to be like, and it's like, it's so crazy, but it's like when you actually get at your lowest low, that is when, unfortunately, we reach out and we seek for help. Spiritual help, mental help, physical help, emotional help, the whole nine. It's so unfortunate, but unfortunately, that's how we learn. Because I feel like when you go down in those dumps and when you actually are at the pit, it's only one way to go, and that's up. That's up. I'll never forget, I had my worst practice ever my freshman year when I was on scout team, because when you in the springtime, you're a freshman, you go against other guys, y'all, so it's like basically like All-American game. But I went against the hardest person I ever had to block was Dalvin Thomason. And Dalvin grabbed me and shook my head, bro. Like, shook me. I never been shook before. Like, I'm thinking I'm a man, but he was, all right, Dalvin the grown man. And he shook me. And like, actually, and I was so mad, I was so pissed off. But I still was a baby. I was 18 at the time. Yeah, right. So how I showed my emotions was by getting mad and crying. And like, but I was pissed off. I was like, I'm mad. Like, I'm ready to go back. Like, it's aggression. Yeah. And I never forget, Coach Brink, he looked at me after we had got done with the practice. He said, "What kind of practice did you have?" I said, "The worst practice of my life." He said, "Well, good, because now the only thing, when you're at the bottom of the pit, is only one way to go, and that's up." So with that kind of being said, your story is a story that one day, and you're speaking about it very, very lightly. You have some things in depth that you could go into about your story. As you continue to go through your journey, you'll be able to write a book about it. Honestly,
no lie,
you really would. Like, surrounding yourself around people that are going to elevate you in different facets in life. Not only the finances, but more so the spiritual realm.
Yes.
But like I said before, sacrifice is going to have to be made. If you want to basically attain something, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. And I say this all the time because Coach Saban told us that. Being uncomfortable is where growth happens. Point blank period. And you don't have to go out and trim off fat and cut off people naturally. As you walk your path, it's going to happen for you.
You're right.
And the thing that I kind of want you to do as that process happen, don't look back. Keep going forward. Don't take your eyes off of him. Keep looking forward. Literally, like, keep going forward. And I promise you, as you're going on that path, as people falling off, things are just going to attract you and it's going to mold you. And when you finally get to where you're going, you look in that mirror like, this ain't the same man I was when I was back there. When I looked in the mirror, when I look back, when I look where I was back then, I was however my internal was. But now as I'm going this path, I'm doing the right things, like, man, I'm glowing right now. People around me, we're all glowing. Because never little yourself with being around people whose mindset is not as broad as yours, because you will become what you hang around subconsciously.
Yes.
So clicking up with people is great, as long as we got a motive and a goal to do something. Because we can be on the same football team, but that don't mean that we got the same mindset, and that don't mean your mindset is bad. That just means for one, when I came to college, I had a son, I had a family. You know what I'm saying? So I had stuff actually going on. Right. So my perspective on life was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But just because mine was sped up, you eventually gonna get there one day, and you gonna see it. You know. So with that kind of being said, I'm extremely proud of you, JD. I'm a brother that's in your corner. I want to see you do nothing but positive things, even though negative things will rear their head. But I want to see how you overcome those things. Because just because you're walking on this path, there will be tests that God's going to put in front of you. And it's going to be the ones that your heart really desire. That you feel like, oh, I just like, but really those just vices. Like, honestly. Like, I never forget, I was having a conversation. I said, man, I feel like the devil attacking me. I feel like he attacking me. I was just voicing things. And I never forget, a person had said, the only way the devil knows how to attack you is by what you say. Because the most powerful thing on your body is your tongue.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so,
it is. You gotta manifest.
Hey,
you gotta manifest the good. The good gonna come alive.
Facts. Literally. And I want to just say, I'm proud of you. I thank you for coming on my podcast, on this podcast. I definitely appreciate you taking the trip down here to the best city in Mississippi, West Point. But more than anything, I'm appreciative of you coming and feeling more transparent and vulnerable enough to give me access to see you in this light. Right. Because I real deal see you as a successful football player. Yeah, great. After football, I see you with a wife, with a family, like doing what you seek happiness in. Yes. Telling your story, motivating people. This interview is going to motivate JUCO guys. This video is going to motivate men outside of football. This video is going to motivate like little kids in your city. I want to ask you a question. What does Memphis mean to you? Then we're going to get about it.
To the city of Memphis, I love y'all for real because without Memphis, I feel like there wouldn't be no growth. Cause I moved to Memphis for better opportunities, you know, and my mama used me playing ball for a little minute as a punishment when I first came to Memphis, and she just didn't know that was a blessing in disguise for me, and that took me a long way, and that took me all the way to Southwind High School to the point where I was the first ever D1 football player to come out of Southwind, to even be the first person ever to be one of the top-notch players ever to get a scholarship from the University of Alabama out in Memphis. So like I feel like from the city of Memphis, I do love Memphis a lot, and they showed me a lot of love, and I appreciate everybody in the city of Memphis.
Facts. And with that kind of being said, I want to finish off by saying this once again. Thank you. I appreciate you. And guys, I definitely want to tell you guys, thanks for tuning in. This is the 3rd episode of Talks with Scott, and we will be back with another episode coming soon.